I love escape rooms and escape room board games, and there are a ton of great escape room board games for adults, which I've talked about some in another video. But did you know that there are some for kids too? And not just kids, but preschoolers, kids as young as 3 years old. Hi, this is Ambi from Board Game Blitz, and you already know I like escape rooms, but I also am a mother of twin boys who are 4 years old currently. And since I love escape room games so much, I wanted to share that with them, and I wanted to try to find escape room games that they could play as well. Obviously, I can't take them to a physical escape room, but I was looking for escape room board games that I could play with them at home. So after lots of searching, I was able to find 3 escape room board games that I got and could play with my kids, and I'll share them with you. So first up is Escape Kit The Little Prince. This is not the box it comes in because it is a print and play game. So you can buy it for print and play, and you can print it as many times as you want because the components are usable. This is more of an activity than an escape room. It says for ages 3 to 6, and my kids loved it. They started playing when they were 3. But basically, this is themed around the Little Prince story. There's a book that you read the story, and then there's different activities. There's 4 different activities. You read a chapter of this little story, and then it tells you to do an activity. The activities are, I think there's things like crafts or coloring in things. There's one where they're searching for these yoga cards and doing yoga poses. You hide them around the house and give them clues. There's ones where they're searching for puzzle pieces, and they put together a little puzzle of the planets. And then at the end, they get to make a craft of all of the rewards they got, and it ends up being a little planet, and they can take a picture of it. It's not as much of an escape room as other ones. It's not timed. There aren't any like puzzles other than the jigsaw puzzle. So it's more of activity for them to do, but they can call it an escape room. And if they know, like, hey, mommy and daddy do escape rooms, like, this is my escape room that I can do. They have a lot of fun doing that, and they get to run around the house. They love searching for things. So that part is kind of like an actual escape room because you hide things around the house and have them find it. My kids love doing that. They also love doing the crafts. And this is great for younger kids because it's broken up into 4 chapters. You can stop whenever you want. A lot of young kids have a short attention span, so you won't be able to play like a 30-minute or an hour-long escape room. So you really want to be able to stop and take breaks. Also, since it's print and play, you can print it out and replay it as much as you want. It's activities that you're doing. It's not like puzzles that you know the solution to. You're just recoloring and stuff. So my kids have replayed this a lot, and they've requested it a lot. I think it's their favorite escape room game that they've played, but they're still young, so they haven't played that many escape room games. Oh, and if this is helpful so far, make sure you hit the like button so that other parents who are looking for escape room games for their kids can find it too. Next up is my first escape game, The Magical Forest. So this is made for ages 5 to 7, but my kids were able to play a little bit when they were 3, and then they were able to play the whole thing when they were 4. This game, it's also a parent setting it up. There's a lot of cards that you hide around the room. And this one, you don't have to give clues for the cards. You're just hiding the cards, and the cards have different puzzles on them. So these are actual, more like escape room puzzles where it has a solution, and if your kid has a good memory, they will know the solution. But it also has a story. This one's split up into 3 chapters. This book has rules and tips on the parent on how to set up things, and it also gives you hints on how to help with the puzzles. It has hints for the puzzles. The story was a little bit long for my kids when they were 3. The intro was too long for their attention span, but they were able to do, I think, one of the chapters. One of my kids is super into jigsaw puzzles, so he was able to do some of the puzzle parts more, but like the puzzles were a little bit hard for a 3-year-old, and with a 4-year-old, not all of them were doable by himself. I had to help him with some of them, but some of them he was able to do on himself. There's a variety of puzzles. Some are matching, some involve like spelling out a word, some are like more jigsaw puzzle type. So it's nice, and there's that nice art. There's a cute little dragon that is your friend, and you're like helping them get through the forest and find the 3 different or 4 different forest spirits. But yeah, I think for my kids, they were too young for it at 3, but they could play it well at 4 years old. They also really love going around the room, finding the cards. That's like one of their favorite things about escape rooms. And then they also like the puzzles and the story. And being able to split it up is really helpful because I think the whole game takes like 45 minutes, which actually one of my kids did do the whole game. I was asking after each chapter, like, oh, do you want to stop? He's like, no, keep going. So he was able to do the whole game in one sitting, which was unexpected. And another thing is it's not sitting, it's standing and running around. So that might be why they have the attention span for longer games than just like a sitting board game. Last up is Exit the Game Kids, Jungle of Riddles. So this says ages 5 and up. I played it with my kids when they were 4. They don't like this one as much as the other ones because this one does not have a story. This one is just a bunch of puzzle cards. So in this game, if you've played exit games, which are for adults, it has like a wheel where you're putting in answers, and then it has 5 different types of cards which have different types of puzzles in them. So each game you're going to pick a random one of each of these cards. So the pink one is always like finding silhouettes of animals. And the answer for each of these is always going to be 3 animals that you line up, and then you get a key and open a treasure chest. But there's no story to it, and it's just like doing these. So my kids weren't that interested in it. They can do the puzzles, but they like didn't really want to sit and do them all. So this might be for older kids, but I think the puzzles might be a little bit too easy once they get too old. My kids did like matching the animals and like finding things. They like those types of puzzles, but it wasn't as engaging for them as the other escape room games because there's no running around the room and finding things and no story. I guess I could house rule it to hide the cards around the room, and then they could do the puzzle. But I think at the age they're at, for preschool age, they like running around and finding things. That's really exciting for them. So this game is not as exciting for them. But this is more replayable than the Magic Forest one, because the Magic Forest one has the same puzzles each time. This one has 6 different puzzles of each of the cards, so you shuffle it up and pick a random one each time. So it'll be replayable. It's not going to be the same one each time. And if your kids are into like finding pictures, matching pictures, things like that, that's what the type of puzzles are in here. So this could be good for kids who like sitting and like looking at pictures and finding animals and matching animals, which I don't like as much, and I think my kids also don't like as much as running around and finding things. But that was the 3 escape rooms that I've played with my kids so far. Let me know if there are any other escape room games for young kids that you know of, because I'm always looking for more. And I guess my kids are getting older now, so I'll be able to get older ones soon. And make sure to subscribe and check out my other videos, like if you want to check out escape room board game recommendations for adults or more board games for kids. Thanks for watching Board Game Blitz. Bye!